Hi. Today I want to offer you a tapping video that will help you move from fear when you're about to write something into flow. This one's dear to me because I'm feeling it right now as I'm trying to write copy for my website. Again, I keep changing it. And I'm noticing this fear that comes up that tells me, what if I get it wrong? What if I get judged? So, for those of you who, like me, get fear, as they're about to write, please stay with me and join in. My name's Claire Williams. I'm from Your Soul Energy and I integrate tapping with healing and meditation and all sorts of things, parts work and inner child work. So let's begin by doing something simple and connecting to that idea of writing something. So I'd like you to just tap on your karate chop point, nice and gently. Just tune into the idea that you're going to put either a post out on social media, or you're going to write some copy, or there's something else that you do that you write. Maybe you do blogs. What is it that's starting to come up now as you tune into that? Notice where that tingly feeling is. And I'm going to invite you with a pen and paper to just jot down the number of the feeling that you've got. So I can feel that I've got fear in my solar plexus or upper belly. What works for you? Use your language. And what number is that right now? Now, I'm going to assume that this is fear because that's what most of us have if we're avoiding writing. It's a fear. And that's what I'm going to be working with. Okay, so jot down your number. And now, as we're tapping on the karate chop point, just tune into what that feeling feels like. So, what I mean by that is there a pain, a heaviness? Is there a tingling? Does it jangle? I feel like mine's jangling. Um, is there a pressure? Is there a spinning? What does it feel like? Is there a sensation that comes with this? And just if try and close your eyes if that feels more comfortable for you. And then just jot down the words. Okay, so I'm going to jot down jangly. And I'm going to say it's in my upper belly because that's where I kind of feel it. Okay. Whatever words you use are perfect because they're your words, because it's your energy. You don't need to follow mine unless you really can't grab anything, and then tapping itself will just help to bring the information up. Okay, so you've got this jangling in your somewhere in your body, probably your belly, but not necessarily. If there is a color, just guessing, what color is this sensation? What color is this feeling of fear? Jot that down. Okay. And next question is, how big is this fear? When you notice it in or around, in front or behind, in or around your body, how big are you noticing it? And it is perfectly reasonable to, even though you feel it on the inside of your body, to feel like it's bigger than your body. And you can just say that it's bigger than my body. Or you could say something like it's the size of a football, or the size of a lemon, or the size of my hand. Just trust what comes up for you. So I'm just going to tune into mine. All right, beautiful. So you've already got the number, the emotion, the feeling, where it is in the body, and also what color it is and what shape it is. You've already got a lot of information. And what we're going to do now is use that information to create a tapping statement. Now, when we do tapping statements, we always start with even though, and this is setup statement, sorry. So a setup statement, even though, fill in the bits and pieces of the information, and then you end it with, as much as you possibly can, I really want you to use the phrase, I completely and deeply love and accept myself. we move towards that always. And even if it's difficult when you first start tapping, you'll find over time that actually it's easy enough for you to say that as you learn to give yourself even more compassion than you ever have before. Okay, so I'm going to use my phraseology, which is the fear. It's 6 out of 10, jangly in my upper belly. It's a cold blue. Don't know why it's a cold blue, but that's what came up. And it's kind of like a rugby ball shape. But that's not really that, but it's close enough. So I'm going to use those phraseologies, and I want you to change it and put yours in. I will leave a gap after I've said mine for you to copy and put your bits in. Okay, so let's start. Even though I have this 6 out of 10 fear that feels jangly in my upper belly and is like a cold blue rugby ball. Okay, I acknowledge this and I completely love and accept myself with it. Okay, I'm going to do that 2 more times. Even though I have this cold blue, a rugby ball shaped fear that's jangling in my upper belly, and it's a 6 out of 10. I acknowledge this and I deeply, completely love and accept myself. Good. 1 more time. And even though I have this cold blue, a rugby ball shaped, jangly in my belly fear, and this fear is a 6 out of 10, I completely love and accept myself even with it. Brilliant. Okay, so you've got all the data. We're just going to use the data to do tapping rounds. So I like to start at the top of the head because I trained with Cole Dawson, and we always start at the top of the head and we finish on the fingers. Not all of you will know this, but if you want to follow your normal way of tapping, that's absolutely fine. We just won't finish at the same time together, but that doesn't matter. Okay, top of the head. So this cold blue fear, what colour's your fear? And come to the inside of the eye, this fear about writing. Outside eye, this fear about being judged about my writing. Under the eye, this fear about not getting my writing right. Under the nose, this cold blue fear. Coming down to the chin, this cold blue jangly fear in my belly. Clavicle, this cold blue jangly fear in my body. Under the arms, this cold blue jangly body, cold blue jangly fear in my belly. Inside of the wrist, use the whole wrist. This 6 out of 10 cold blue jangly fear. And we're going to come onto the thumb and the fingers. You're going to tap at the bottom of the nail bed on the sides. This cold blue jangly fear. And again, this cold blue jangly fear. Next one. When I think about writing, I get this cold blue jangly fear. As if I might get into trouble for doing it wrong. Next finger. I'm going to use that phrase again because that feels resonant to me. if there's a phrase that is resonating with you as you've tuned into this and the things that are coming up, please use that. So this cold blue jangly fear that I might get it wrong and that I'll be in trouble for getting it wrong. And your little finger when you're ready. This cold blue jangly fear in my belly. What if I get this writing wrong? I might be in trouble. Okay. So I want you to take a deep breath for a moment and let it out. Shake your arms, maybe have a sip of water if you've got some with you. And then I want you to just take a note. Has the number changed? Has the color changed? Has the shape changed? Has the sensation changed? That's what you're looking for. Are there any changes? Now, if you need to pause this because you need more time to connect with it and understand what's going on, please do go ahead and do that. For transparency, I couldn't think of the word then. My fear has gone down 1 point to a 5. It's less jangly, and instead of being a rugby ball kind of a shape, it's more just of a round shape. And oh, it's less cold, but it still looks like the same blue to me. Apparently, it's just not as cold. They're the message I'm getting from the inside. Okay, so now we're going to start again, and we're going to do, we'll just continue with rounds. Unless yours is changed dramatically, and if it has changed dramatically, then please change your setup statement. So you could pause again, and then you could do a new setup statement. And you only probably need to do it once just to anchor back in, and then we come up to the top and we start all over again. So let's go. So this fear, this blue fear in my belly, inside eye, this blue fear in my belly when I think about writing and getting it wrong. And outside eye, this blue fear in my belly when I think about writing and getting it wrong. And again, under the eyes, this blue fear in my belly when I think about getting it wrong. Under the nose, this blue, less jangly fear when I think about writing and getting it wrong. This blue fear in my belly about getting it wrong. Coming down onto the clavicle. This blue fear in my belly, slightly jangly, when I think about writing and not getting it right. Under the arm. This fear when I think about writing and not getting it right. Inside wrist. This fear in my belly when I think about writing and not getting it right. And again through the thumb and the fingers. When I think about writing and not getting it right, this fear jangles in my belly. Next finger. This blue fear sort of jangling in my belly. And I think about writing and getting it wrong. Next finger. What if I can't get my writing right? This fear that comes up. This blue fear that comes up when I'm not writing right. This blue, jangly feeling of fear when I think about writing and not getting it right. Again, we've come to the end of a round. Take a deep breath in. Let it go. And I like to shake just a little bit just to get the energy moving. Okay. So I want you to close your eyes and just get with yourself again. That fear. What number is it now out of 10? Just checking in. Remember, you're looking for the size, the color, the number, the strength, the shape. Okay. So we're going to keep going. But what I'd like to say at this point is if a memory has come up for you, that's showing itself and it's related to the fear or the writing or some kind of performance or expression. For instance, when I was 6, I think I did a project on diseases when I was at school, and perhaps I wasn't 6, perhaps I was 8, and my teacher called my mum into school because she thought it was a bit morbid. And that made me start to doubt that anything I created, it actually made me feel like if I created something, it wasn't right, that it was therefore wrong because I had this story attached to it, which meant the teacher wasn't sure about what I was doing. So that's what we're going to be looking for now is memories. If you don't have any memories, just keep sticking with the fear. That's what I'm going to do here to make it simple. But if you do have memories, tap with the feeling as you're thinking, as you're feeling that thing. I want you to tune into the feeling that your young self had and tap. If you're more experienced, you can imagine tapping on your younger self and maybe stepping into that scene. It's what we do with matrix reimprinting. We step into the scene, we witness and we help our younger versions. We help them feel safe and loved and so many other things. And we then tap on them to get the emotions down, okay? Because sometimes the inner child part will hold it, and sometimes it's just something, there's a frequency through us that doesn't really need to be discovered, it just needs to be released out. Okay, so let's go back to the fear. What number are you at now? What's your color? What's it doing? Like, is it still, like mine was jangling, it's not anymore. Is yours doing something different? Or has it stopped doing the thing? All of it is relevant. And the shape, is that same shape? Is it smaller? Or is it changed entirely? Is it the same color? All of these things are important, and we're going to use them to tap through the next round. Again, if yours has changed dramatically, as in it's not the same color, might not even be the same emotion at this point, or the same sensation, do a fresh setup and then join in at the top. Okay, so this fear I have of writing and getting it wrong. Inside eye, this fear I have of writing and not getting it right. Outside eye, okay. This blue fear in my belly of writing and not getting it right. It's a 3 out of 10. Under the eye. This 3 out of 10 blue fear about writing and not getting it right. Okay. Keep going. This blue fear about writing and not getting it right. This blue fear about writing and not getting it right. This blue fear in my belly about writing and not getting it right. under the arms. This blue fear in my belly about not getting it right. Inside wrist. This blue fear in my belly about writing and not getting it right. And on to the next fingers. Keep going. And I should say, and I meant to mention this right at the beginning, if you yawn or cry or have a snotty nose, can't think of anything else right now, or you need to go for a wee, all of those things are signs that the energy is moving, but the yawning particularly, okay? It's just a gentle way of releasing the energy. So keep going with the fingers, the thumb and the fingers. So this blue fear about writing and not getting it right. This blue fear in my belly about writing and not getting it right. This blue fear in my belly about writing and not getting it right. This blue fear in my belly about writing and not getting it right. This blue fear in my belly about writing and not getting it right. Okay, deep breath in again. Release it down, shake it off. I'm going to have a drink of water. Okay, we're going to check in with the numbers. And then we're going to do some choose twos, okay? And by that, I just mean we are framing towards what we do want as opposed to sticking with what we don't want. If your numbers are 4 and above, keep going with the tapping to clear out. The only reason I'm moving on to the choose to now is because this video is obviously quite long as I'm looking at it. Yep, that's plenty long enough. And if we have the choose tos now, it might also shift the fear outwards because you'll have an alternative view, another belief that you could put in its place that would help you step out of fear and into a safe space. Okay, so we're going to do another karate chop setup statement. So even though I did have this fear, I acknowledge that I am allowed to express myself and my own thoughts, feelings, and opinions. And I choose to love and accept myself with this. And even though when I think about writing, I might still have some tension around it, but I don't have to choose to make my writing public. It could be something just for me. And as I think this, I choose to love and accept myself completely. And even though I've had this old story about writing having to be right for a long time, I acknowledge that I am allowed to have a new story and a new way of being with it, as I love and accept myself completely. Okay, come up to the top of the head. Maybe it's okay for me to write just for me. Inside eye, maybe it's okay for me to write because I like writing. Outside eye, maybe it's okay for me to write because I'm just expressing something that I think, feel, or believe. Under the eyes. I am also entitled to express myself. Down to the nose. It's okay for me to write. Down to the chin. It's okay for me to write. Coming down to the clavicle. It's safe for me to express myself in written words. They're just mine. Coming under the arm. It's okay for me to express myself They are my words, my environment. Inside wrist. Sit, keep going. I choose to allow myself to write. Coming onto your thumb. I choose to allow myself to write. And see what happens. On your first finger, I choose to allow myself to write. I choose to allow myself to write. 2 more times. I choose to allow myself to write. Sorry, it's a motorbike outside. I choose to allow myself to write. Okay, take a deep breath in again. Place your hands on your heart and let it go. Okay, I want you to tune in now, because if there's anything left now, you will still need to work on this. So let's just have a look. Fear, where is the fear? Okay. What number is it at? If it's still there, what number is it? And really look for it. Don't assume that it's gone. Just really look for it. Okay. And what shape is it? What's it doing? How's it moving? Is it moving or is it just pressing? Just checking in on how it's representing itself to you right now. Okay. Now I notice I have a 1 out of 10 left, so I will go and work on that, particularly as it's moved to a different place. But if you're down to a 0, congratulations, well done. Go ahead, write what it is that you want to write, and I'd love to hear how you get on. For those of you that still have, like me, a little bit to work through, just use the same principles. Tune into what shape, colour, size, what kind of energy it's doing, whereabouts it is in your body. And if there are phrases or thoughts that come up with it, tune into those and write those down and use those in your setup statement. Just following the energy of what you've been given here by your subconscious mind and your body is enough to clear it, so long as you tap. Let me know how you get on in the comments. I'm always really pleased to hear how you get on. And if you have any questions, please just ask. In the meantime, take care and wishing you a beautiful day.